Visit mycayman.com to learn more about 100% natural, non-toxic, hypoallergenic Cayman oil and get a bottle today. Say, see you later, alligator, with Cayman alligator oil at mycayman.com. That's mycayman.com. mycayman.com.
I'm so tired of the buffering on my smartphone.
I'm so over it. Next.
Right? I am so over it. Next.
A radio? Next.
No buffering, just your favorite local radio station?
Next Radio uses the FM tuner that is already built into your phone, so you can listen to your favorite stations on the go. Because Next Radio uses the FM tuner already built into your smartphone, it saves on data and battery usage. When compared to streaming audio, Next Radio uses less than a tenth of your data, and your battery will last 3 times longer. Next Radio, it's FM radio on your smartphone.
Introducing a radio inside your cell phone. Listen to all kinds of local radio stations, including KCAA 106.5 Yucaipa and 102.3 Riverside on Next Radio. Download the free Next Radio app today. 100% free, 100% fun, 0% buffering. Stop the buffer and listen to KCAA.
KCAA. Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Take a walk on the wild side. Will the birds and the bees survive? Right before me, my newfound hippie side. Once ignored these conspiracies online. Out the window, visions of the earth. Sign me up now, make sure you use your smart. Take a walk on the wild side. Will the birds and the bees survive? Would your children ride to see Mother Nature's side?
Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Smart Health Talk. I'm your host, Elaine McFadden, and we're here to look out for you. That's right. We're looking out for you and everything that affects you, and that comes your food, your lifestyle, your environment. And unfortunately, our environment was doing pretty good and kind of on track to get better. The air quality was going to get better. Water quality was going to get better. Some goals for global warming, we were on track to start to reverse some of the things that we were doing that were contributing to that, reducing pesticide use, pesticides that were destroying our kids' brains. Air quality was getting better. We were starting to implement new regulations. But apparently, so much has went out the window in the last couple of years that we've actually set our country back decades. And this was work that was done by Republican and Democratic presidents, so that's pretty sad. And I just want everyone out there that is looking for ways on how to get pesticides and chemicals out of their life, we have a really special tip for you today, because we have some great people calling in all the way from Australia, and they're going to be joining us here in California at the Expo West show in Anaheim next month, March, the 5th through the 9th. For those businesses out there listening that want to include more organic choices in your operations, that's the place to go, biggest organic natural food show in the country. And they're going to be there with a hair care products that really help take the the chemicals and pesticides out. And not only do they have like the, you know, shampoos, things like that, but hair color. And those of you out there that have tried to make the switch to a more natural, organic type hair color, maybe you weren't completely satisfied. I usually go for the red, and that's one of the hardest to keep on. Plus, you know, the red maybe doesn't match with other reds that are out there. So when you try to get other maybe hair pieces, things like that, to match, maybe that might have been a problem. But this new brand, Desert Shadow, which you can actually find on Amazon now, I think their stuff looks really good. I am anxious to try it. I'm anxious to hear about their company and their motivation behind it and the kind of ingredients that they're using in their products. And I'm also anxious to learn about what's going on with all that other hair color and the dangers behind it, because I think a lot of us really aren't aware of just what it can do to our hair, and not just short term, but long term. So we're going to be learning about that. I just have a couple of quick announcements, and we're going to have Tomas and Charmaine on to talk about Desert Shadow and all of those great alternative hair care products that are organic. But first, I wanted just a couple of quick announcements to remind everyone on why buying organic products is so important. We've talked several times on the show about probiotics and how they work and how important they are, and warnings about products you probably shouldn't be trusting and products you should trust because those people actually know what they're doing. Of course, we've recommended BioK as one of our top choices, along with Lifeway products, the organic products. Well, a lot of you see an Activia commercial after Activia commercial. Activia yogurt is supposed to be so great. Well, I really started doing some deep research on that and found out that the bacteria that they use in their yogurt actually originated in rat poop. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. It originated in rat poop. That's where they got the bacteria. And I don't know. Personally, I'm not too into that. Culturel is another brand that uses the same bacteria, as well as Walgreens brand. There's a few other ones, but anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that. Not too happy about our meat lobby, because we allow growth hormone fed beef here, which shouldn't be allowed. UK banned it. They don't allow it, and neither does the EU. But we got our lobby over there trying to convince them that, oh, you should allow growth hormone fed beef so we can import our growth hormone fed beef into your country. But if you have regulations where you ban it, we can't import it into the UK. You know, this is the same kind of thing that's going on with GMOs, bullying people. Our company's going and bullying people, threatening them that if they don't allow GMOs, don't allow growth hormone fed beef into their country, that we're going to penalize them in some other way. Just a quick warning out there, any of you out there that have contemplated synthetic marijuana, don't do it. Very, very risky. I won't get into it right now, but just trust me on that one. Unfortunately, another action by Trump is he's going to allow antibiotic use on oranges. This was banned. He's allowing it, some oxytetracycline. We can use that on all these oranges that are grown in Florida. And by the way, Tropicana had tested higher than any other orange juice for glyphosate. Another thing that I had was some new research came out. Lenuron, another pesticide banned in Europe, but is allowed by our EPA, has shown that it triggers inflammatory signals that have been linked to the onset of multiple sclerosis. Okay, and this is Linuron. You know, the thing is, if you buy organic, all of these problems go away. No antibiotics on the oranges. We don't have linuron herbicide on the food. Lifeway is not using rat poop bacteria in their probiotics. It's just a good choice. And why not add hair color to your organic choices? Well, we have a couple of great guests here. We have Tomas, and his last name is Pradas, and that's Tomas. And then we also have Charmaine, and they are both from Desert Shadow, and they're calling us all the way from Australia. So hey, matey. That's about as much as I know. Australian. So how do people? What kind of greeting do they use in Australia, Tomas?
So
what's a normal Australian greeting? do you guys just say hello like we do, or?
Yeah. Probably the more Tokens ways would say probably g'day.
Oh, g'day. That's right. That's the one I was looking for. Well, I just asked that because my son's working on creating a new language, and like those, we were actually talking about a new word for hello. So I was kind of curious if you guys had one that we could add to the list of what other people use, because it's nice to hear what other people use. But good day, I like that one. Yes, that's a great one. It makes you feel happy when you say it. That's what I like about it. It's uplifting. And are you? So both of you are you kind of the team that got Desert Shadow going? Was it you two that kind of spearheaded it, or were there other people involved?
First of all, thank you for having us today, Elaine, and to allow us to sort of spread a little bit of this goodness out. Hopefully, try to educate some people as well on the matter. And just first of all, show that there are options, whether they work for you or they're not, or they're convenient or not. There is an alternative there, so you don't have to feel like you only have one solution. So thanks for that. Onto your question, I'll probably let Charmaine answer more of that, because she's the one who actually started, and then we were already together back then, but she's the one who actually started the whole company and created these wonderful products. And then from there, I saw that she was quite overwhelmed and she was getting too busy, so I came on board. So I'll let Charmaine just take on board on that.
Well, being overwhelmed, hey Charmaine, well, being overwhelmed with a new company is a good thing. And from what I understand, it was the product kind of came out of that old adage that said need is the mother of invention. And you had a need that you wanted a product, but most of the other products were really causing a lot of problems for you. And I just have a feeling that you're not alone, that there's a lot of other people that are having reactions to the chemicals in these hair color products.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I actually started the business in 2008. And I started because I had allergies to your standard sort of chemical commercial colour. And I really wanted to colour my hair. So I just sort of set out on a little quest, I guess, to find something that's clean and that works, and that I would be happy to use on my body. So yeah, that's where it all started.
And how do you start something like that? How do you start researching your own hair color? Where did you start looking?
Well, I've always been interested in natural and organic, alternatives. So I do a lot of reading, and I just discovered some plants that give colour, and they've been used for a long time to colour the hair, and not just for colouring the hair. They've been used in teas or other preparations, which unfortunately they forgot about the properties that they were good for your hair as well, and so I just basically found these ingredients, and then we started experimenting and troubleshooting and testing them, and after a good year of that, the brand was born. So yeah, it was quite a process, and it was fun.
I love to think of the history of things that we do today, and like you just said, Charmaine, you know, these plants were used for coloring probably for hundreds of years, right? And because the whole art of like coloring hair is not like anything new, because people were wanting to play around with their hair. I mean, they used to wear all those wigs and do all kinds of crazy things with their hair, like back hundreds of years ago even. So dyeing hair is not anything new, and so it sounds like you kind of went and found some of lost arts on how people did different things.
Yeah, you know, and I think the thing is, you know, in the modern day, we're always trying to improve things or make things different, but some things just don't need improving. You know, some things are already perfect just the way they are, found in nature, and we don't need to adjust them or create some new chemical from a structure. You know, it's already there, and we can just use it. It's available to us. So
all we got to do is just do it right. I mean, the thing is, the difference with these plants is the way they're grown and the way they are treated once they come into a warehouse, and that's what creates makes them more effective or functional to the final purpose.
Well, and I love what Charmaine said, that they're not only do they color, but they're also good for your hair at the same time.
Yeah.
And I love what you said, Tomas, too, about how, you know, the plants are different. Not only, it's like every aspect of the plants are different than something you would get in a conventional product, from the very seed to the way you guys grow them. And then what I find really interesting is how you guys treat the plants, like you said, once you bring them into the warehouse, because something I've tried to talk about on the show is oils. Like a lot of the products now, this Garnier, you know, and all this, they're like, oh, we're adding oils, you know, or Glad, oh, we're adding oils, you know, instead of the phytates that you were adding that are hormone disruptors all those years. But the thing is, those oils, when they're not organic, when they extract the oils, they use a cancer-causing chemical called hexane. And so, you know, they're not thinking, oh, that oil has hexane residues in it that's now going onto my skin. And that hexane is a chemical that causes cancer. And that's what they use to extract the oil, to pull the oil out of the plant. And so it sounds like you guys have, you know, to be certified organic, you can't use that cheap ingredients that use that cheap method of extraction. You guys have to go the old way of doing things, where you're not using those kind of chemicals that make products cheaper to buy, but they have consequences for the consumer. So so why don't you kind of explain to us like some of the differences? Because I'm fascinated with these products, and you know how, you know, the ingredients that you use in them and what it takes to actually get there. I don't want you to give up, you know, your secrets if you have like some secrets or something like that, but I want people to understand the extra effort that you guys go to create these products, the extra effort regarding ingredients, the way you treat the ingredients, the quality of those ingredients, how you grow them. So I'm going to kind of give you both a chance to just kind of explain all that, and I'm just kind of shut up so people can have a better idea of that.
Yeah, so I guess the main thing with being certified organic is definitely the ingredients and where we source it from. Having the organic certification means that we need to make sure that there's everything is transparent, and all of the supply chain is clean, and every step along the way there's organic processes and procedures that go towards making each ingredient. So it is quite a lot of work to be certified organic. You really need to just be transparent and open. So that's
So like the suppliers.
I could go right into it, but there is quite a lot involved in it. So I don't.
Yeah. So at present we have two certifications. One that's current for the Australian standard, and then which is NASA. It's not the space program. There's AA at the end. And then there's obviously the USDA. For us to be able to trade in the USA and make the products available, we do require to have a USDA certification. They're both very rigorous and processes, as Charmaine mentioned. And basically all it is it's a paper trail of transparency. So basically, if you want, we can track back to where, with this certification, you can track back where a batch of product was grown. So we can trace back all the ingredients to where that particular ingredient was grown and what season was grown, and you have data.
How it was treated and how it was processed and all of that type of thing.
And you have data of like weather data and things like that. Now, how does that help us to make better products? Well, simply, it's just a cleaner option. It's the best way to do something and give people a peace of mind and reassurance that the product is as clean as it can ever be. So that's basically what the organic certification will stand for. Now, once it comes in here, there's we have a whole set of regulations of things that we can do and we cannot do, and we have to adhere to those. We'll get audited every year, and we have to show that our processes and are matching to what the regulations are. And we're more than happy to do so. So it is good for everyone, and in the first place for us and our team. The people that work with us. The last thing we want to do is to expose anyone to something that we wouldn't be prepared to be exposed ourselves.
So what are people exposing themselves to when they use these other commercial products to color their hair that cause the allergic reaction for you, Charmaine?
Yeah, so I don't know if you yourself, Elaine, have ever read the ingredients of a standard sort of hair color that you'd get off the shelf. But if you do have the time and want to have a look at the ingredients, you probably won't want to use one of those chemical colors again, just simply for the fact of how many chemicals they contain and what those things can possibly do, from not being good for your health, for your body, but also things like not being good for the waterways and possibly marine life as well. So yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, there's one ingredient in particular which does cause which is usually the culprit of causing the allergic reactions, which is called paraphenyldiamine. And this ingredient is usually used in percentages under 3% in your standard sort of colour, and it's usually used in the darker colours of hair colour. Now, this ingredient is the one that usually people get sensitised to. They can be using same hair colour for years and years, not have a problem, and then all of a sudden they use it, and then this one ingredient just triggers a reaction, and it can be pretty severe. Some people end up with, airway problems and having to go to the hospital and things. So I'm not sure. I think basically what it is it's just being an informed consumer. We're sort of really into people reading labels and finding out what ingredients are, and whether or not you want to or are willing to use that ingredient on your body, because an informed consumer is a pretty powerful one. So, and we can actually change the way things are made. So if we are asking for no chemicals, then eventually, the people start to change, and then you can find less, products with less chemicals. So I think I might have gone off on a tangent there, so you might have to bring me back.
No, it's I like that you did that, because all the time it's me trying to tell people not to do that. So it was kind of nice to have someone else say it for a change. I'm always telling people, please, don't be buying that stuff. And so it was nice to have you speak for me, and not to always be my voice telling people that. But that is really important. And we had talked earlier when I was talking with Tomas about, people thinning hair, those kind of things, because allergic reactions can cause, side effects in all different kinds of ways in different people, plus just the harmful chemicals and like destruction of your hair follicle, that kind of a thing. Different people react in different ways to these chemicals, not everyone the same. And when you just take that whole toxic chemical off the table, take it out of the equation, a lot of times when I hear back is just people, when they use products that have this kind of quality ingredients in them, that their hair, they notice a difference in how their hair feels afterwards. And is that because your product is actually adding nutrients and good things to the hair, where the other products are more like stripping it away?
Well, our product doesn't actually change the structure of your hair as such. So when you use a chemical color, it actually it opens up your cuticle, takes out the color, and then adds another color to it, and then smooths down the cuticle. So it sort of changes your hair, whereas ours just adds to what you've got. It doesn't change the form, doesn't alter your hair at all, just the color, and adds to it.
It works on a deposit.
Yeah, it deposits color. So so in that sense, it's not damaging to your hair. So you find that your hair reacts a lot better to our product. It also has some ingredients in there, such as we've got one ingredient which is a berry, and it's got a lot of vitamin C in it, which is also astringent. And anything astringent kind of tightens your skin. So that ingredient works on your scalp, and it just tightens your scalp, and then I guess strengthens the follicle of where it grows from. So yeah.
Will that give you a facelift at the same time too?
Yeah, well, that ingredient we actually put on our face. We sell it as a treatment as well. And any leftovers, not the colour, the treatment, we scrub it on our face, and it feels really good.
I'm thinking back of my big fat Greek wedding or something like that. The ladies were all like trying to like pull their hair up tighter so that they could have a facelift. And I thought, oh, if you pull your scalp tighter, maybe it could give you a facelift too. Hey, that would be a good marketing angle, I'm telling you. But, you probably sell a lot more of it. You could claim that, huh?
Pretty tough claim, though.
But so I guess my next question would be because I know that the other products, they have hydrogen peroxide. Like you said, it opens up your hair, and that's how it forces the color to come in. But so there's still ingredients in your product that enables the color to be deposited on the hair without that harsh step that the other products use.
Yeah.
For how long?
Yeah.
How long will it stay?
It's what's called a semi-permanent to permanent color. But by this, I will go back to what Charmaine just mentioned. So, in the hair care world, there's two terms: the permanent and semi-permanent. This doesn't relate to the longevity of the dye on your hair. So it doesn't mean that a semi-permanent color will wash out and a permanent color will stay. What it relates to is how the dye actually gets put onto your hair. So permanent hair color is the one that's it's a little bit more disruptive. Will open up the cuticle, bleach it out, and then deposit a new color in. And semi-permanent is the one that will deposit some coloring. By this, I'm saying that our colors are a semi-permanent to permanent. So they behave as a semi-permanent, but the color will go into your hair permanently. Now, there may be a little bit of, and especially the first times that you use it, you may notice a little bit of fading, but very slightly, and then after that, it's a permanent color. It will stay in for good.
So you just need to do once you've used it a few times, you just do the roots and that's it. You don't need to do all of the hair because the color stays really well.
Oh, that sounds great. I can't wait to try it. Yeah. And then what about if people already have treated hair and they with the other harsher chemicals, and then they start using your product? What is there any special instructions that you have for people that have already color treated hair?
Yeah, well, our colors would definitely be good for them. The thing that you just need to think about is that because our colors are 100% certified organic, they don't have any ingredients which lighten. So you can't lighten your hair with our products. You can only sort of highlight or darken. So if you have black hair and you want to go blonde, this product is not for you because we just can't do it because it's our product is natural. We don't, or natural in the sense of it's got no harmful ingredients, so we can't bleach or lighten. So yeah, you're kind of going to go for if you're going to use our products, you're going to go for a color that's similar to what you've got, to color grays or darker.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, is that covering gray, because I know with the other products there's even like a little bottle that you can get. You put like extra drops into the color that's supposed to help cover gray even more. I don't know if there's some sort of chemical in there that can break through a gray hair more efficiently than regular color, but I know coloring gray hair is tricky stuff. And yes. So if you guys can color gray hair, that's like friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
But Elaine, sorry for interrupting, but with regards to your previous question, just to let me add something to it, because
sure.
The thing was, what you wanted to know is if there was any reaction to it, and as Charmaine said, there wouldn't be any reaction. Although we always recommend people just, if they are super, because we don't know what you've used, right? So as all the testings and all the trials we've done, we've never had any issues with it. We always recommend people to go and do a small test with the hair from your hairbrush, just to make sure. In the past,
just to make sure you get the color.
Oh, I never thought about that. Use the hair in your hairbrush to test instead of your own hair. That's a really good idea.
So in the past there was a myth where not a myth, there were some situations where people didn't want to cross the border between chemical hair colors and sort of let's call it botanical hair colors, and the reason for that was there was series of different elements that were added to those botanical colors that were also that could sort of cause a reaction between. But because we're 100% certified organic, then there's nothing on our products to be concerned or wary about. So that's what I wanted to add.
No, that's really important. I'm glad that you said that, because that's why I asked those questions about color treated hair, because I wanted people to feel comfortable about making that transition, because it's hard when you kind of went with the same color for a long time or something like that, and you're gonna make that transition. I was kind of wondering what you would recommend for something like that, and what people would expect for the color treated hair if they wanted to make that transition, because those are the people I think you'd be targeting the most, because they're already coloring their hair. They're not like deciding to color their hair for the first time. They're already in the habit of it. So those are the people you really want to target, because they'll be a good customer, and they want your product because they need to color their hair to feel better, and it definitely makes me feel better when I do it. So
I mean, your hair is very symbolic. If your hair's feeling good or looking good, you generally feel good.
Yeah, it really makes a big difference.
Yeah, but our product is, when a lot of people are becoming more conscious of being, the products they use, going organic, eating good food, changing everything. And a lot of times the last thing to go is actually the hair color, because it's very hard. If you've been coloring, like you said, for a long time, you don't want to necessarily just let your hair go. So we find that hair color is the last thing to go when people are sort of detoxing their life and going low tox, no tox. So yeah, we're really excited to be able to offer this to those people who want to, choose to have that lifestyle of more natural.
And then can you mix the colors too? Because like what you have, like kind of like the basic colors. And then I'm just wondering, can you like take those colors and mix them together to get different colors? And what would you recommend when people do like that the first time that they use your product? One of the things that I recommend is, well, at least especially with conventional products, is I notice Garnier's like copying my idea, but put like a jojoba oil or something like that on your hair before and your scalp before you put the toxic ones on, for sure. But is there anything special that people should do to their hair if it's color treated and they're doing that first step to transition to your product the first time they use it? And if they're like, let's say they already have like a bleached color that's a lighter color, could they then start with the blonder color and then maybe mix in a little bit of a darker color as they're kind of trying to transition away from the bleach?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely mix our colors. We have created them so you don't need to, because not everyone. I don't mind experimenting myself and mixing and being a bit of an alchemist in the kitchen, but not everyone is up for that either. So the colors we've got are there to give people an idea. If they want to be creative and mix a few colors together, that's fine. I probably recommend, if they do that, to write down exactly what they've done, because if you
good idea.
You don't write it, next time you forget.
Was that 2 squeezes of the blonde and 2 squeezes of the red, or was it 2 and 1? I can't remember.
Yeah. Exactly. So then you would end up with a different hair color, and if you find that mix you like, then you can repeat it. So basically, the most difficult thing with our product is just finding the color. Once you find the color that you like, everything else is easy, because it's just like cooking. You just follow the recipe, you prepare your mix, and then you pop it in your head. And
Well,
give yourself
how many
some
colors
time.
do you guys have? How many colors do you have?
We've got 12 colors.
Oh, 12? Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of colors. I didn't
Yeah.
realize you had that many colors.
Yeah, well, we are quite limited in the sense of, we don't have purple and blue and, bright pink or any of those colors, because we just take what there is available in nature. So we're more like, we've got browns, we've got reds, we've got sort of like for lighter hair, we've got blonde, golden, we've got honey, like a light brown. So yeah, there's quite a lot. It's really good for people who just want to colour their hair, like to have the same colour, and yeah, something that's reliable. And
Does it help make your hair a little bit thicker for those that have like a thinner hair? Does it give them a little bit more volume when you add the color to the hair, or if they have frizzy hair?
It does. It helps. It helps to give your hair a bit of volume, especially as soon as you use it. Like for the week after, your hair feels amazing. So yeah, it gives it a bit of bounce back,
And a weight, and some weight probably too. So more weight.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it's weight. It's more. It just gives it a bit of bounce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because most
so
of it, especially after you've used the conventional hair colors, that stripping process makes your hair lighter and more frizzy. It doesn't seem to have as much weight. That's the reason I said that.
Okay, yes, I understand that.
Yeah, so it's once you start, because those little hair shafts, if they're sticking up, and then your hair color comes in and kind of fills that gap in from the hair shaft not laying flat, because it's damaged and it's sticking up. And so I'm thinking your color kind of gets in there in between those hair shafts to kind of fill that in and smooth the hair shaft out.
Yeah, your hair feels amazing afterwards, and I find, because that's pretty much all I use. I mean, my hair's probably not the best example today, but I don't really do much. I'm pretty low. I like low maintenance, so I just colour my hair every 5 to 6 weeks. I give it a treatment once a month, and then I just wash it.
So who do you feel is like your customer that really seems to respond to your product the most? What is like a profile of the customer that seems to respond the best to your product?
People who are happy to take time for themselves, and who I guess just value themselves enough to, give themselves that time. People with families who don't want those things around in the house, So I did have one lady who she was a new mum, and she actually started using our products because she was worried that, because she was at home with the little one all the time, she had a regular hair color on her hair, and she just thought, oh my God, I'm here and I can smell this, and I wonder how that is affecting my family or my new little one. So then she decided to start using our products because there wasn't that, that smell, and she just felt like she didn't have to worry about, holding baby when she had the color in her hair.
Well,
so
what about breast milk? What about breast milk? I mean, I wonder if that stuff could even go in breast milk. So
yeah, anything that goes on your skin gets absorbed, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. You could even wonder about that, if those chemicals are going into the breast milk. I wouldn't doubt it. So yeah, that's a good point. Mothers that are, because they probably tell you when you're pregnant not to dye your hair.
Yes, yes, they do.
Yeah,
but ours is okay.
And yours would be okay to use. Okay, hey, we just figured out another big selling point right there to all pregnant women out there that want to be able to like dye their hair. Hey, we got something for you. Because hey, that's the time when you need a boost. and feel like you're looking good the most is when you're pregnant. So I bet that would be like something pretty special to women out there that would like that. You know, that it just makes you think, if they're telling you not to use that when you're pregnant, red flag, everybody. You know, that right there is saying, you know, there's something toxic going on here. If it could harm a fetus, you know, it can't harm the inside of us. I mean, that's huge to me. That right there is a tell.
Ask the question, that's for sure. Yeah, I think that's the question. Also, if you read, I don't know if you've read, but when you have a look at a box of hair color that you just get off the shelf, usually it says in the small fine print not to come into contact with your scalp. So maybe that's got something to do with putting oil on your scalp before applying the color, because it's not actually supposed to touch your skin.
It would burn my scalp so bad. That's why I started putting the oil on first, because I couldn't take it. It was like hurting me so much. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to invite you on the show, because I could tell from my own personal experience on just how harmful that it hurts so bad just to dye my hair. And I'm thinking, there must be a better way to do this. So I was excited. I have tried another organic product. I wasn't that happy with the red color that I got out of it. So I'm really anxious to try your product, and it is on Amazon right now, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, and we also have, it's on Amazon, and we also have a website in the US as well. And there's a few little shops around the place in the US that keep the product.
And that's Desert Shadow, everybody. Desertshadow.com. That's their website. If you want to go look at the
Desert Shadow Organic.
Oh, it's desertshadoworganic.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for correcting me on that. I thought I had it right, but I didn't. Okay, thanks. Yeah, we got to get the right address. But if you type in Desert Shadow, you can find it, because I did find it. So, and you guys have other products too. You have some soaps and shampoos and things like that. I was interested in your soap, because I like soaps that are kind of non-soaps. You know, that don't, you know, have a bunch of harsh things in them, especially. You know, we've talked a lot on this show about antibacterials and how harmful they are, and triclosan and that kind of thing. What do you guys use some of the ingredients? I mean, I wanted to ask you about your suppliers too, you know, that you get from, because I know a lot of people that I've had on the show, they work with special suppliers, you know, and having those relationships can make a big difference in people's lives, you know, that the people that you buy from, they don't see like the trickle down effect. The fact that you guys have created a product that uses these plants. There are people that now have a way to make a living supplying your company with these plants instead of just some chemical company out there. You know, it's like real people are your suppliers. And so there's kind of a trickle down effect that helps other people along the chain. So the people you buy from. So is that like a big deal for you, your suppliers that you work with?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really important to us. We you know, we try to think of it as us being a big family, and everybody who supplies us the things we need to make these products, we sort of consider them as part of us. So we do visit our suppliers, especially the farmers who grow some of our ingredients. Probably every couple of years, we just go in and check out, make sure everyone's happy, and, you know, just so, because we do this because we want to make a difference. So, you know, ethical and fair trade and all of those things are really important, and it kind of goes without saying. So,
it goes without saying in like our circles of people that believe in this, but so many people out there, when they hear fair trade, they don't really know what that means, and they don't realize that people like you that make the products, that fair trade means that you're paying a fair price to your suppliers, and not, which is, from the research I've done, big corporations like Unilever have manipulated prices so that they could get a cheaper price and rip off someone that, you know, is poor to begin with, and now you've lowered the cost of that. Well, then that person doesn't make enough money to support their family for the rest of the year. And you know, the fact that we have fair trade now, where it makes a big difference in people's lives when they get a fair price for their hard work. And so the fact that you guys put that first just makes me love you even more, okay? and everyone else should love you even more. And and plus, when you use products like that, when you know how much has went into that product, like, and you meet the people like that are usually like some of my favorite people in the world, you know, like people that start organic companies from the heart, because these big corporations, like I call them the Big 10 here in the United States, these companies never started an organic company. Never. They may own organic companies, but they never started it, you know, because it's not in their heart. They don't know how to do it. People like you are the ones that do make the difference, because you start at like a whole new opening up a whole new category to people having that choice, like we talked about in the beginning, to actually have a choice, to not have to buy that chemical laden product. And since we do have a choice, why not choose it, everybody? Why not choose it? Because who wants to have thinning hair as you get older? You know, nobody wants that. Instead, you could be coloring your hair and making it healthier and feeling fantastic. At least for the first week, you're going to feel actually double fantastic, according to Charmaine. So I can't wait to try Desert Shadow hair color. And I'm hoping that after you've listened to Tomas and Charmaine, that you're very interested to try it too, and that we've given you the strength to make that change, getting away from the chemicals and give the organic choice a try. So I just want to thank you both for joining us and fitting us into your day today, Tomas and Charmaine. And I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm going to be coming to Expo West over at Anaheim Stadium, everyone. So I'm going to come and stop by your booth, and anyone else that's listening that's attending Expo, please come and see Desert Shadow at Expo West. All right, well, everyone, I hope you're going to be back here again next Tuesday, 4 to 5. And remember, our podcasts go up on iHeartRadio, so you can listen there, and then our videos on YouTube. And so you can catch the show, you can share it to other people that maybe you know someone else that has an allergy or is having all kinds of trouble with their hair color, and Desert Shadow could be the perfect solution for them. Wouldn't you love to share that with them? Okay, well, thank you both for joining us, and we'll be back here, right here on KCAA next Tuesday, everyone. And please check out our Blue Monarch Project and what we do with the butterflies.